back to Durban in the Etegwini municipality, and we're here, of course, for the official opening of the Mount Edgecombe Interchange, and standing right in front of the bridge here. And as you can hear in the background, Minister of Transport, Dr. Blade Nzimande, has just cut the ribbon, and this road is now officially open. And the minister will now unveil the plaque, and following that, we'll have a quick interview with him where we can talk more about this and, of course, other transport-related matters across the country. And just a reminder, of course, that Sandral has made this broadcast possible, and this is a total milestone opening for them, because this particular intervention, this engineering feat, has been 5 years in the making, but finally it is complete. And there you have the plaque about to be unveiled. And just waiting for that with the National Minister of Transport, Dr. Blade Nzimande. And there you have it. The road is now officially open. And we are standing on this 1 kilometer flyover bridge, which has been an engineering feat all on its own, because this whole section was built without closing the N2 beneath us, which of course was quite a feat. Minister, you look happy, and as well you should be.
Of course, I should be. I've been happy since Saturday, Sakina. But I must say, to be quite honest, this is a very impressive piece of engineering, which is already, as you can see, making the lives of motorists very easy. This is one of the bridges interchanges that we are very proud of as the Department of Transport, which we built through Sandral, of course with a contribution from the Provincial Department of Transport as well as the Etegwini municipality. So this, during the Transport Month, is one of the things we are showcasing, in terms of what we are capable of doing as a country. And also this contributed enormously to some job creation, except only 6% were women who participated here, which is a problem. We hope that next time that will actually not going to happen, because women are also good in terms of participating in construction. But I'm very happy, I'm very excited about this.
Now, Minister, if we look at the broader benefits that will accrue not just only to the city, but of course to the province as a whole, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yes, first of all, as you know, this highway N2, this part, it's going to the airport, the King Shaka International Airport, which means now, amongst other things, traffic flows faster, people are able to reach the airport faster. But much more importantly, this has been a very congested interchange, It's been actually virtually impossible to be here. You'd have to plan for an hour or more coming from Mount Edgecombe or Umhlanga. Now, the traffic is moving much faster. Now, that contributes to economic development, economic growth. People arrive at work on time, and public transport also is able to move much faster than has been the case before. So those are some of the benefits, that you don't have to spend long time on the roads. Of course, this we also hope is going to contribute to the reduction of road crashes, which still remains a big problem. Another problem that we've been having here has been pedestrian fatalities and injuries. There is a bridge now for pedestrians here. We're still worried that we still need to pay more attention to pedestrians, but at least there will be an improvement now, which will make life very easy for people. This is one of the fastest development localities in our country, around Umhlanga, around Mount Edgecombe, and all that. There are lots of workers who work here, they increase in numbers. So having this interchange has definitely actually made life easier for many people who use this road.
Now, Minister, you touch on the holiday period and the carnage that usually goes along with that period on our roads. What's your department doing this time around to try and mitigate, perhaps better, some of the carnage?
Well, we have the Transport Month now, which we are closing tomorrow, which we have been using amongst other things to reach out to communities. Because one, we have to tighten law enforcement. What we are going to be doing more now, we have said to our traffic law enforcement officers, please don't be soft on those who are breaking the law on our roads. But also now we are changing legislation. If we are a repeat offender, we're going to take away your driver's license. You mustn't be on our road. At the moment, you can offend as many times, virtually nothing happens to you. So we are going to be tightening, and also we are increasing visibility and presence of law enforcement officers, especially in those parts of our road network we have identified as hazardous.
But you now know, Minister, that it hasn't acted as much of a deterrent as perhaps the South African public would have liked it to be, the visibility of police. So what more needs to be done?
As I say, what is more now is that we are tightening the laws and the legislation. You can't be driving at 180 kilometers and then you just go and greet in the police station. Would like to see people spending a weekend if need be, or a couple of days before you go and appear in court. But Sakina, law enforcement is necessary, but the fact of the matter is we have to reach out also to people, road users, vehicle drivers, because more than 90% of the reasons why there are road crashes is human error. I must say now that I am deeply disturbed that at the moment, of course, it's alcohol abuse that has been drunken driving. But you know what is threatening to overtake that is what we call now distracted driving, which is we are driving, you're on Facebook. You're driving, you are texting, you're sending SMSs. That's now becoming another factor that is contributing to road crashes. And of course, one of the most disturbing things is that the single largest casualty in terms of categories of people is young people under the age of 35. And they are the ones who often also are texting and they are having good time, having booze and all that, which means we have to increase education.
We certainly have to, Minister. But we saw in Limpopo on the N1 there, in more or less the same area over 2 consecutive weekends, horrific fatal crashes. What is being planned, if anything at all, to come up with some sort of intervention on that road?
I have asked Sandra already, as you can see what they are capable of doing, to go and study closely that piece of the N1, that stretch of the N1, as to what can be done in terms of engineering that can actually reduce the accident rate. Because we learned that one of the problems there is the crosswinds, which contributes significantly in terms of the accident. Apart from speeding, of course, that people speed and drunken driving, as I've said. But I've asked Sandra to say, go and study that and see if through engineering we can actually be able to minimize or road crashes. As you can see with this bridge, for instance, what is on the side, as well as the bends, which contribute to cars slowing down, not driving too fast. Engineering in itself does contribute, but that must not be a substitute from police visibility as well as engaging education in our communities.
And of course, we're still in Transport Month. The trains, especially out in the Western Cape, that has been an ongoing problem. And you promised to actually take us down there to have a closer look at what some of the problems are.
Sakina, anytime. In fact, we do need the public broadcaster and the rest of the media to work with us to deal with the problem in a place like the Western Cape, Cape Town Metro. I was there for Imbizo on Saturday before the big game. And we managed to talk to communities, which is one focus area during this Transport Month, is that we need to reach out to communities. Because, for instance, communities in Cape Town, some members of communities do know who's burning the trains, who is vandalizing, who is stealing the copper, which is causing all sorts of problems. And if we are able to reach out to communities to say, and commuters, together we need to bring an end to this thuggery. We are convinced that we will actually be able to do that. Of course, on our side, together with PRASA, we are committing to spending more on sorting out infrastructure. proper signaling so that you don't have manual signaling that sometimes causes trains, to have accidents.
Minister, we're going to leave it there for the time being. Of course, we're still here up until the end of the show at the Mount Edgecombe Interchange. And as you witnessed in this particular segment, the road has now officially been opened by the Minister of Transport, Dr. Blade Nzimande. We're going to take a break, go back to the studio, and later on we'll speak more about transport-related issues, and we'll also have a chat with the Deputy Minister of Transport. Back to Auckland Park.